Side for Harris on the wing. 2 dribbles behind the back, crossover into the lane, hangs and scores off the window. And they do 5 in a row. Degman trying to make it 6. You bet. 3-2 in the half court. O'Neal for 3. Carroll for 3. Face of Bertali up and in. Another chance. Up top. 3-pointer. Tipped away from Ferencz. Lobbed ahead for Gibbons. Count the bucket and the foul. Silva attracting a lot of attention. Gets it back. Deep 3. Straight away. Up and in. Skip pass back to the corner. Sanasuoso. High arcing 3. Up and in. Trying to bring Holfisher into the paint. Does so. Fade away. Up and in. And the foul. Gotta hurry here. 2 seconds. 35-footer. Up and in. Harris off the crossover. Sets up a 3 from Dunning. Who knocks down his second from 3-point land.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Windham. Nick and Astis with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week between Windham and Nashua South. It's all brought to you by Beals Insurance. 2 of the better teams in the NHIAA going at it here in week number 3, season-wide. 2 veteran head coaches. And some senior night festivities as well, honoring this Jaguar senior class that has been one of the best in school history. Windham out to a 2-0 start, and led in a lot of ways by the co-captain Joey DeSilva. He's the big name and the big gun. 65 total points through the first 2 games of the season, both victories over Timberlane. Has got the Granite State buzzing. A second-teamer last year as a junior. And again, leading the state right now in the points per game category by a wide margin. He's also the quarterback. He's an all-around athlete. And a deep threat. Amongst those 65 points, only made 13 threes. And has gotten off to a good start as Windham looks to stay unbeaten and improve to 3-0 on their home floor, playing in this gym for the second time this season. For Nashua South, it's been a long-awaited season opener. In fact, the first 3 games on the schedule all postponed, pushing the season opening date back to tonight. So they'll open up things finally on the road here as clear underdogs. A young team under a veteran head coach in Nate Mazzarol, but always a D1 contender, always a team that ends up somehow, some way doing some kind of damage, usually in March, usually in the postseason. It's a young group, a guard-oriented group that'll spread the floor and look to get up and down. And of course, Coach Mazzarol puts a lot of emphasis on the defensive end. His counterpart in the sidelines, E.J. Perry, become a mainstay. Windham, of course, does a great job with their athletic boosters. Coach Perry very involved there. And kind of a family feel, not just around the basketball program, but Windham athletics in general. And I'm sure they're getting ready for what should be a memorable senior night. Some balloons here, a couple of homemade signs, the usual pomp and circumstance. As I mentioned at the top, a very talented senior class. 4 of them, including Joey DeSilva, including the other captain, Rocky Jerez. They call him the Rock. Stand out on both the football and basketball teams like DeSilva. He's been a starter since his sophomore year. He'll do a lot of the banging tonight underneath in the paint for Coach Perry. And can score the ball a little bit as well, but really prides himself on the defensive end. He's also unofficially the mayor of Windham High. That's according to the program I've got here in my right hand. So a popular student athlete for sure. And then You talk about the guard play, Weston Lippold, he'll touch it a lot. Looks to get others involved. And has a knack for stepping up during big games. They upset the Bedford Bulldogs last year, and there's a big reason why. Had 23 in that upset win at Bedford. So if those three weren't enough, the senior class also includes a third unofficial captain, Ryan Uden, a transfer. Came in from Kansas and really fit in right away. First as a scout team player, and then apparently Joey DeSilva came to Coach Perry and said, I want this guy officially as part of the leadership, so they made him a third captain. Very smart player off the floor, an academic all-state member a year ago, and unfortunately broke his foot, but certainly has a bright future. Expected to attend some of the top universities, including Boston College, Dartmouth, and BU. So Uden unavailable tonight, not warming up. And again, nursing a broken foot. But again, the other three seniors for Windham should be mainstays on the floor tonight for Coach Perry. On the other side, again, the Purple Panthers will be led by Alex Holfischer, one of the veterans of this young group. A physical player, good in the low post, can stretch the floor as well. But who can provide that second score? Well, Zach Castanguay has some varsity experience. Cody Rochelet. So there are some names Coach Mazzarol can rely on, but certainly not, in my opinion at least, as senior heavy as the Purple Panthers have been in the past. And that's certainly something to watch tonight. You don't want to get, if you're Coach Mazzarol, you don't want to get behind early on the road in a tough gym against a veteran team. Coach Perry trying to fire up his guys off to our right as we count things down towards the opening tip. But first, again, some senior night ceremonies, I believe, are in store here right around the corner. Reminder, tonight's broadcast on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, presented always by Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com. All right, again, the players are now taking direction from Coach Perry on the Windham sideline. Well, Coach Mazzarol has his group somewhat isolated towards the rear of the gym, delivering one final message.
I also thank Coach Mazzarol and the Nashua South team for allowing us to do this so early in the season. It's been a fantastic start to the year, but getting through COVID for these young men has been very difficult. All three of them are football players, and they had to sustain that. The first person I want to mention, he and his family, unfortunately, had to go to Texas today. His aunt is very sick, and they had to go and make sure he was all right. But I did want to mention Rayon Uden. He came from Kansas. He was an unbelievable addition to the team. His attitude, his strength, just really loved coaching him. He'll be back, and I hope just my thoughts and prayers are with his family. So Rayon Uden is our first senior. Our next senior is just a young man that for 2 years on the varsity, I learned to really respect and love, and for 3 years in the program, he's just been an unbelievable addition. He's a student athlete. I recommended him this month for the Moynihan Lumber Student Athlete Award. He's a 3-sport athlete, which is near and dear to my heart, and he has just been a juggernaut for our team. Last year, he had a game-high 23 points against Bedford. It was really heart-stirring, but his play every night has been excellent. I'd like his parents to meet him at center court, the great Weston LaPole. Our next senior, as many people have seen, I've called him the best athlete in the state, and I truly believe that. He's been with me on trips to Boston College to play in the Dome for practicing football. He's been everywhere with me for basketball. He's been a 3-year varsity member. When we go back to his sophomore year, his first game, he hit a buzzer beater with 2 seconds to go. And from then, he's just been a great player. He and Weston and Joey are the captains of this team, the leaders. He's done a phenomenal job with that, and he's had a great start. He got 15 against Timberlane, the great Rocky Ayers. First year, I had to coach against this young man, and then his senses came to him, and he came back to his homeland, and since then, he's just been unbelievable. His play on the floor makes him very, very special, but the type of kid he is what I really respect. He always has a smile on his face, the way the game should be played. He plays D, he rebounds. He's hit 13 threes already this year. He had over 60 threes last year. He is just a delight to coach. He's why you coach. He's why you want to coach. And he's another football, basketball guy, which I love. I'm going to miss all 3 of these young men, and I'm certainly going to miss the great Joey DeSilva when he heads over to Endicott College to play basketball. Joey DeSilva, senior.
Now there is Joey DeSilva with head coach E.J. Perry. Enjoying the moment here on senior night.
The 3 seniors are just going to get a picture at the end in the middle. Like I said, it's been unbelievable to coach these 4 young men, scholar athletes, and just people that I will remain friends with for the rest of my life. So I thank them. I just want to thank everybody involved. I saw Mrs. Desmaris and her Boosters Club putting up the posters and doing all the jobs. So I want to thank Mrs. Desmaris, the athletic director who's keeping us playing, the scoreboard. I just want to thank everybody. So let's play ball. Friday Night Lights. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome the Panthers of Nashua South High School here to Windham tonight. And now for their starting lineup. Number 3, the junior, Jeremiah Mitchell. Number 11, senior, Cody Rochelle. Number 21, senior, Jaden Murphy. Number 22, the junior, Alex Hulfecker. A junior, number 24, Rhett Medlin. The Purple Panthers are coached by Mr. Nate Mazarol. And now for your Jaguars of Windham High School. Sophomore, number 35, Blake Dempsey. Sophomore, number 34, Jack Rundy. Senior, number 25, Weston LaPole. Senior, number 23, Rocky Harris. And senior, number 5, Joey De Silva. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please all rise for the playing of our national anthem? Folks, we're excited to be able to play tonight's game, as we are with all the games we're capable of getting off here this winter. I just want to remind everybody to try to maintain the 6-foot social distancing, wear your mask please, and wash hands whenever possible. Lastly, I'd like to just ask that with no visiting fans and home fans only, please support our visitors. And if you see a good play or you appreciate a good play from the Purple Panthers tonight, let them know. Show some great sportsmanship here at Windham. Thank you.
Well, there it is, a final word as we get set for the opening tip. Nashua South making their season debut. Windham playing for the second time at home this season. Jaguars in their home whites on senior night, trying to improve to 3-0 in this opening portion of the schedule. It's the third week of action here statewide as we get underway. Nashua South with the first possession. Windham opening up into man-to-man. The Purple Panthers go to the junior, Rhett Medling in the high post, trying to find a cutter along the baseline, and the giveaway goes to the Jaguars. So a good stop early. We get our first look at Joey De Silva and this Jaguar offense. De Silva, a threat from downtown. As we highlighted during the pregame, 13 threes in the first two games, both wins against Timberlane. They get him going early, no good. Offensive rebound leads to a Rocky Jerez baseline 2 attempt that is too strong and knocked out of bounds. And back over to the Purple Panthers. Coach E.J. Perry likes those football/basketball players, and this is why. Full court press, man-to-man, going to make it tough on the other squad, but no problem here as rising and throwing it down is Cody Rochelet. A two-hand stuff. South able to beat the press easy and score the game's first bucket. Deep three from straightaway, no good. Second offensive rebound for the Jaguars. This one to Lippold. Sets up a 3 attempt. No good from Jack Rundle, the sophomore. Another try, though. Windham, open shooter. That 3 won't go for Lippold. Rebound out quickly to Rochelet. Now some good looks from three-point land, but Windham unable to find the touch early. They trail 2-0. Hofischer inside out. 3 on the way from Jaden Murphy, too strong. The senior had an open look from the wing. And a minute and a half gone. Jaguars still looking for their first 2. Into the lane. A little contact. Rundle, no. Follows his own miss. Lippold going to skip it across. It's knocked away along the baseline and out of bounds in the near corner. Well, Windham trying to work out perhaps some senior night jitters here on the offensive end. Just the lid on the basket as they miss their first 6 from the floor. And still tied here. Pick and roll. De Silva near side. Defended well by the Panthers. And now into the low post. Up top again for Lippold. No shot clock, of course, in the NHIAA. 3 on the way. It's De Silva up and in. Well, there he was in the corner, able to get himself square. He knocks down his second attempt and puts the Jaguars ahead 3-2. This one, long rebound allowed to go out of bounds and back over to Windham. A little bit of pressure now from Coach Mazarol's guys as Nashua South looks to stretch the floor. Three-pointer to Silva, too strong. Another offensive rebound ripped in by Blake Dempsey. 6'2 sophomore, although he's tied up. Rochelet hits the floor, but first draws that jump ball whistle. Here's a good look from a moment ago. Just the Jaguars' physicality already coming into play. By my count, 5 offensive rebounds. Here's Rocky Harris up and in with the right hand. Now it's his first 2. And then quickly we have, I believe, the game's first foul here. Go against Lippold, his first. 2.5 gone by, a 5-2 lead for Windham. South has not scored since their second possession back in the game's opening minute. Dribble drive, dump down low, and then back to the corner. Windham here in a half-court man. Rochelet trying to draw some contact. He will. And head to the line for 2. Got a hit by Harris. It's his first, team second. So Rochelet, who had that highlight-type dunk a moment ago, a chance to add to his point total and break a mini drought here for the Purple Panthers. First free throw too strong. Well, again, Coach Nate Mazarol on the sidelines. He's become a fixture. Also involved, of course, in the athletic department as the AD over at Nashua South under Lisa Gingras. Sees his junior hit the second, or senior, I'm sorry. 1 for 2 trip for Rochelet. Meanwhile, fadeaway De Silva won't go, but again, the Jags pound the offensive glass. De Silva steps inside the three-point circle and knocks down a deep 2, and that's going to lead to a Coach Mazarol timeout. A 7-1 run put together here by Windham over the last several minutes, and as we head towards the midway point of this opening quarter, the Jags have grown their lead now to 7-3. Well, Coach Mazarol cannot be happy with the way his team has rebounded the basketball. Several second chance opportunities for Windham in the early going, as they unofficially, by my count, at least 6 offensive rebounds. None so far for South. Windham going to set up the full court press out of the timeout. And the Purple Panthers will clear it out. Jaden Murphy, given room here by Harris, will jog into the front court. Really good pressure here as Windham forcing the Purple Panthers deep behind the three-point line, trying to run their high set here. Off the dribble with the left hand, Holfischer had it tipped away. It'll stay with Nashua South. Mitchell up top, they'll reset. The defender Dempsey almost begging him to go left. Holfischer drive, Mitchell in and out. No, Holfischer offensive rebound. Sorry, that's Rhett Medling, but they say he went over the back. Well, Medling, the 6'3 junior. Good size in there, but the over the back call, the right one. The first against Nashua South. That gives it back to Windham. And clear it out for Lippold. Holfischer will give him a little bit of room here as he comes into the front court. In the high post, Rundle hands to De Silva. Open look at a three. A little short and a good skying rebound. Holfischer, good outlet here to Mitchell. Mitchell, a power dribble, lost his footing. And then the follow-up by Rundling is stripped out of bounds. Good hand shown by De Silva as he got the basketball there with his right. Good outlet, though, by Rochelet to try and set up Mitchell. Just wasn't quite under control. This one turned over. Off the fingertips of Medling. De Silva now leading the break. Looks to his left, has a man. Good closeout, though, by Holfischer. Dumped down. Dempsey looking for Harris. Back out to Lippold in the corner. Lefty three. Too strong. And then a foul called from midcourt. As we have a push in the back here against the Jaguars. Coach Mazerol, I think, pretty pleased there with the defensive effort, up on his feet for the first time in this first half as we cross the midway point. Again, the Jag press. Holfischer, who wears the glasses during the game. Glasses on and mask on. That's got to be tough. Into the front court for Mitchell. They want to go inside. It's Medling. He's got a man on him, too strong. Good job laying off at the last second by Rundle, the defender. Then a steal leads to a layup. No, but a foul. As Murphy, showing the quick hands, comes up with a steal and then fouled. Nearly got that one to go, but he's back to the line for South. Purple Panthers scrappy here early. Both teams have forced turnovers in the backcourt. Free throw, no good. Got a sub for the first time. Harris coming off the floor and then maybe having a word with the trainer. Meanwhile, second free throw up and good for Murphy, the senior's first point. South hanging around, just a one possession difference at 7-4 as we come up on 3 minutes here, first quarter. By the way, the sub on the floor is Chris Ballone, the 6'3 junior guard. Here's a turnover. Back again, Rochelet, left hand. Allowed the defender Ballone to go by and then lays it in off the glass. Pretty finish. Rochelet now with 5. He's the game's high man. And here comes South. They've strung together some stops. And they're within one here at 7-6 as we head towards 2 minutes, first quarter. Lippold to De Silva. De Silva into the lane. Hangs. No, but a foul. As he was bumped on the left shoulder, he'll head to the line for the first time. Meanwhile, the first substitution for Nashua South is over at the scorer's table. That's Mike Rutstein, down on one knee, set to check in. Meanwhile, De Silva on his way to Endicott College next season to play basketball, misses the free throw and rolls his eyes. He's got 5 points here in the early going for Windham. Meanwhile, Rutstein on the floor. And the 6'3 Medling off, so a smaller lineup on the floor for the Purple Panthers. Also into the game for the first time, Zach Castanguay to handle the ball. Castanguay into the lane, looking backdoor for Rochelet. Holfischer going to dribble drive, too strong on the banker. And a good defensive rebound pulled in by Windham's Jack St. Hilaire. Sophomore guard who also just checked in. Long pass leads to a Lippold layup. The lefty can't convert. Rutstein out of a crowd. Up ahead, and now Murphy is called for a travel. Well, tried the hesitation dribble with the left hand, but the youngster dragged the foot. Fourth turnover in this first quarter for South as we hit the 2 minute mark. Windham, meanwhile, holding on to a 7-6 lead. They have gone cold from the floor. It's been over 3 minutes since they've scored. Balone trying to change that, and he will with a deep three. Well, Balone, one of these juniors off the bench for Coach Perry that can score the ball. A well-timed bucket there. Meanwhile, a wraparound shot by Murphy. Couldn't get it. Rutstein on the offensive glass traveled after he came down with the rebound. And now Coach Mazzarolo back to the bench. Cyrus Roig is going to check in here for the first time as Murphy takes his first seat, in the senior told to wash his hands by Coach Mazzarolo. Down to 100 seconds, first quarter. Again, a little token pressure from the Purple Panthers as De Silva going to come in here with the right hand, attack the defense, and draw a foul, I believe, on the floor here. It'll be side out of bounds. The third team foul against the visitors as Rutstein picks up his first. Still 10-6 Windham. The lob to the lefty, Lippold back to the basket. Going to power towards the middle. His wraparound pass ends up out of bounds in the corner, trying to find Jack Rundle. He zigged when he thought he would zag, so to speak. Another Windham giveaway, each team by my count 4 turnovers. Minute 20 to go. South down 4, trying to cut that lead in half. Cut Windham's lead in half. Holfischer spins to his right into the corner. Rutstein is ready. That three in and out and then back in. Mike Rutstein off the bench. Got the Purple Panther bench now singing his praises. Meanwhile, De Silva looking for a foul near the rim. Won't get it. The same knocked out of bounds and partially blocked by one of those Purple Panthers, possibly Rutstein. 10-9, minute to go, first quarter. Windham is led throughout. Three-pointer, up and in. De Silva's second from downtown. South will beat the press along the sideline. The bounce pass for Holfischer too strong. Holfischer takes a tumble, and the ball goes back over to the Jaguars. So that press starting to yield some results for Coach Perry's club. I said Windham is led throughout. That's not true. Took them a minute or so to get on the board with a De Silva three. They trailed 2-0 in the game's opening minute, but been a Jaguar lead since. Stepping into a baseline two is St. Hilaire. More bench scoring for Coach Perry. And the largest lead of this first quarter now on the board at 15-9. Final shot, though, looks like it'll belong to South. Down to 15 seconds here in this first quarter. Gastonway over to Holfischer, puts it on his right hip. Takes a look at the clock. Down to 8, down to 7, down to 6. De Silva trying to force him left. He'll go left into the lane. Wrap around, dump down pass, and there's the layup. Well done and well timed as Roig is able to lay it in to beat the buzzer. So South ends things on a high note. They're within 4 at 15-11. Windham, though, still in the driver's seat after 1. We'll take a break, come right back to Windham High in a moment. You're watching the Friday Night Lights Game of the Week here on FNLNH New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance.
Broadcast today, as it usually is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance gets you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. So call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com.
Start of the second quarter here in Windham. The Jaguars leading 15-11. After one quarter here, the season opener for Nashua South and senior night for Windham. Nick Anastas with you, FNL Courtside. It's our FNLNH game of the week, presented by Beals Insurance. Windham 2-0. They opened up the season with a home win over Timberlane, followed that up with a road win over the Owls, hitting the 70-point mark in both games. Meanwhile, a three-pointer, Balone up and in. It's Chris Balone, the junior. Some sharp shooting off the pine, his second from deep. 18-11, a 7-point gap now. The largest at any point here in this first half. Rutstein, and a 3-second call is made along the baseline. They'll go against Nashua South's Rhett Medling, who just checked back in. The big man spent a little too long in the paint there, according to the officials. 7th turnover by South here in the first half. Both teams have gone man-to-man exclusively on the defensive end, and both teams have issued the full court press here early, as was expected to be the case from these two head coaches. Not seeing zone yet either way. Meanwhile, Barone, Castonguay up in his shorts. Fires up the Purple Panther defense. Long possession here for Windham. George Fortin is in the game. He's a sophomore. Dribbling here between the circles. Hands to Lippold. Far side, Barone. Is he still hot? Not this time, too strong. Offensive rebound, though, goes to St. Hilaire. Back out Barone. Same spot. This time, a different result. It's a 3. His third from deep. 9 points off the bench. He's now the game's high scorer. And Windham has opened up a double-digit lead for the first time at 21-11, excuse me. South looking for their first points of the second quarter. Instead, they'll turn it over. St. Hilaire with the steal, and then he's stripped by Rutstein. Taken away by Medling. Long up the sideline to Castonguay. Skips it near side. Rochelet is ready for a 3. It's too strong, and then a foul on the rebound attempt on the weak side is going to go against Nashua South, I believe. Or I spoke too soon. It goes against Windham, it looks like. Going to get Jack Rundle with the foul. His first, team's 5th. Only 3 on the other side against South. 2 minutes in second quarter. Purple Panthers trying to make it a single-digit game. Good up fake. Medling, good elevation. Scores it with the right hand. They need to get that going. Rhett Medling, 6'3", junior, his first bucket. And a much-needed one for South. They're back with an 8 at 21-13. Drive and kick. The red-hot Barone is ready. Line drive missed, though. Rebound Medling in a crowd for South. Up the floor to Holfisher. Holfisher, 2 big steps. Leaves it midair for Castonguay. 3 from the corner, too strong. Roig's second attempt is blocked, but then a late whistle is going to rule that a foul here against Barone. Barone definitely got ball, but apparently a little bit of wrist as well, and that'll send Roig to the line for the first time. Chance to make it a 2-possession game if he can bang both here. No good off the back iron. The line has not been kind in this first half so far to the visitors. Second one is good. 1 for 2 trip. And again, South trying to hang around. It's 21-14. New defender in the game. Daniel Miranda got the unenviable job of trying to guard De Silva. Forces a miss, though, on the three-point line. Lippold, though, another chance as Windham continues to hound the offensive glass. Meanwhile, Barone probing the defense, drive and kick. De Silva, too strong on that 3 attempt. Loose in the near corner. Bodies on the floor, and a foul is called. Now, the whistle was blown, but a foul was not called. They say out of bounds. Last touch by Nashua South. It'll stay with Windham. Meanwhile, subs, Roig over to the South bench. Rundle will take a seat for Windham. Rocky Harris back in. Checked out early in the game with what may have been some kind of an injury, but you know, Coach Perry likes to call him the best athlete in the state, and that's not going to sideline him for long, whatever it was. Barone, a deep 3 up and in. Chris Barone feeling it tonight. 12 points off the bench on 4 made 3-pointers. Castonguay trying to settle his guys down on the south end. They're back down 10 at 24-14. Nearly midway through this second quarter. In the paint. Medling, nowhere to go. Double teamed, loose, and then saved over to Murphy. Goes down the lane, draws the contact. Nearly got that one to roll, but he is fouled and will shoot two. And this is a hard take. There's Murphy. Only about 5'9" or so, but not afraid to mix it up. Attacking the jaws of that defense. Gets back to the line where he's 1 for 2. Make it 1 for 3 now after that miss. More subs. Miranda, after a brief stay, on the floor, replaced by Rochelet. No good there for Murphy. Jaguars the rebound. They've done a good job at both ends on the glass. Meanwhile, Barone to the cup. His first two is impressive. Got it around the defense at the rim, and that's going to lead to Coach Mazzarol's second timeout. Wants a full timeout to talk it over, as suddenly Windham's lead has grown to a dozen for the first time tonight now at 26-14. The story has been Chris Barone off the bench. 4 3-pointers made, and then decides to go to the rim there. Great right-hand finish. He has been a beast. Off the pine, 14 points now, a game high. So the junior stealing the show on senior night. We saw 4 Windham seniors honored before the game. The senior class, led by the co-captains, Joey DeSilva and Rocky Harris. Of course, Weston Lippold has been as important as those guys as well. And the one guy not here tonight, Ryan Uden, broke his foot earlier this year and then off to Texas with the family tonight. I guess the Windham family thoughts are with him as he heads down to Texas. Meanwhile, a score update at the half. Exeter and BG, two of the better teams in D1, involved in a defensive battle. Blue Hawks with an 8-point lead there, 29-21. That's one to keep an eye on, one we will keep an eye on tonight. We'll bring you more scores at halftime, by the way, as well. Meanwhile, play resumes. Windham with the steal, and then the pass is tipped out of bounds near side as Barone took it away and then, tried to free up George Fortin, but a good heads-up play by Murphy to get his right hand on it. Meanwhile, Harris to the cup, missed the layup on the baseline. 1 rebound, 1 dribble, and then a bucket for the senior, his second from the floor. 28-14. Again, more full-court pressure. It's had mixed results so far for Windham. But South has not been comfortable at all in their offensive sets so far. Rochelet for 3, in and out. Medling trying to grab the offensive rebound, could not. Harris comes out of a pack, and then a double foul is called deep behind the play as Medling, I believe DeSilva, tangled up on the floor. Rodman Malone style, if you will. And they're going to get DeSilva and Medling here with a double foul. It'll stop the clock, 3:28 to go in this first half. Windham enjoying its largest lead at 28-14. So I believe 2 free throws each way on the way. DeSilva doesn't hesitate. Hits his first free throw of the night. Again, Joey came in averaging just under 33 points per game through the first 2 games. Both Windham wins. Meanwhile, Medling out. Have a word with Coach Mazzarol. We got our first look at Tyler Armin, guard, on for South, so a smaller lineup. Meanwhile, DeSilva can't hit the free throw. Goes 1 for 2. I'm not sure why South is not getting free throws if it was a double foul, but perhaps it only was against Medling and was an intentional foul. That may have been the case. I'll double check that at halftime. Meanwhile, Barone traveled in the corner, shuffled the feet on the catch. Good closeout defense by both Murphy and Rochelet. Give this one back to South. A rare second quarter turnover by Windham. Coming up in 3 minutes until the break, a 15-point lead, the largest of the night on the board for the Jags. Murphy up and under and then missed it off the window. Great move to free himself up, but may have rushed the shot. Meanwhile, De Silva, well, he's got two gears for sure, able to turn on the speed there and draw the foul in the lane. He'll head back to the line. You can see De Silva kind of leaning in towards the defender Holfisher at the end as the shot went up to draw the shooting foul. He's back to the line. He hits one. He's now 2 for 5 at the stripe. He's got 11 after a 2 for 2 trip. 3 minutes. South needs a bucket. They'll get one from Rochelet. Good baseline finish. May have taken it on the top of the head as well, but no whistle. Rochelet has tried to keep South in the game. 7 a team high. This club, though, still down 15, but a turnover here. Good pressure by Armin to force the mistake. Barone upset. He'll check out of the game. Dempsey back on for Windham. And Barone, a word there and some of the coaching staff on the Jaguar sideline. Final 2:40 first half. South down 15. Trying to capitalize off the giveaway. Two-man game with Rutstein. Pass off target. Taken away by Harris. And then De Silva lost it at midcourt. Rochelet to the rim. Trying to bank it. No. Follow with the right. Yes. Good job by Rochelet. Able to follow his own miss. He's played well in this first half. A team high 9 points now. Club back within 13. Meanwhile, Harris harassed on the sideline, and I think let's say a South player touched it from behind while he was out of bounds. So it stays with Windham. Meanwhile, Coach Perry not pleased with the sophomore Blake Dempsey as he takes him off the floor, replaces him with his classmate George Fortin. Meanwhile, a turnover, and then a quick inbounds, and then a long pass is picked off. Blinken, you missed it. De Silva into the front court. Finds St. Hilaire, jacks a 3. Side iron missed, no, and then Murphy ends up with a loose ball, but we have a foul first. It's going to go against Windham. They say Murphy was grabbed, and that's going to put Windham over the mark now, so a 1-and-1. Actually, 8 team fouls by the home team, just inside of 2 minutes here, second quarter. 5 on the other side for South. Murphy trying to get his team back within a dozen. If he can hit 1 here. Can't do it, back iron. South below 50% collectively at the line in this first half. Murphy himself just 1 for 5. Meanwhile, Fortin turns it over. Armin, and then blindly throws it up the floor where St. Hilaire picks it off. Sloppy play to Silva, a 30-footer up and in. Gets one to work out of the chaos. Meanwhile, Holfisher to the rim, count that. Lands roughly after the right-hand layup. Hard to believe, but that's his first bucket. Meanwhile, another De Silva miss. Rebound, Rochelet runs into his own guy at midcourt, and then a whistle is called, as both Lippold and Rochelet ended up on top of one another on the hardwood. Kind of a chaotic turn here in the closing minutes of this second quarter. Both teams trying to catch their breath here with 1:17 to go until halftime. Coming up at halftime, give you some of the unofficial stats from the first half, gear you up for the second half as well. We'll take a look around the state. A lot of games in action. We'll preview the rest of the week's slate as well. We'll be on the road Friday. Back on the Seacoast as Portsmouth will clash at Winnicott. So stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, which is now just over a minute away. 34-20, Windham led by as many as 17. Trying to equal that mark with a 3. Can't do it. Offensive rebound, Hilaire. Another chance for the Jags. De Silva 3. Side iron miss. Rebound by Mitchell. He'll power out for South. He'll go all the way to the cup. Can't get it from the left side, though, with the right hand. Rebound, St. Hilaire. Jaguars want to run. Nice pass. It's De Silva to Harris for a layup. Beautiful no-look feed, and then a quick whistle here on the inbound. I'm quite sure what that was about. I think the official may have told De Silva to pull his mask back down. 35 seconds. Castonguay going to beat the press. Mitchell's going to get a layup. And they attack it with a dribble. First bucket for Mitchell. 25 seconds. De Silva spinning into trouble, lost his footing, trying to find the ball, and does, and finds Harris with a beautiful pass from his knees. Another bucket for Rocky Harris. Another great assist by De Silva. And another timeout on the floor here with 18 seconds. Timeout Windham. And as Coach Perry uses his first timeout of this first half. Again, just over 18 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A 38-22 lead on the board for Windham. Well, again, Chris Barone giving Coach E.J. Perry a bump off the bench. 4 made threes. Another 2 gives him a game-high 14. He's had help from De Silva, who has 14 of his own, including 3 made threes. As you saw there a moment ago, it's all brought to you by Beals Insurance, and our online home is on YouTube, the channel FNLNH Media. Again, we're on YouTube, and we're brought to you by Beals Insurance. FNLNH Media is the channel. If you can subscribe to us, we'd appreciate it, and you'd get all the notifications you need by hitting the bell icon. We've got upcoming broadcasts coming hot and heavy throughout this 2021 basketball season. All right, final 18 seconds here from Windham. Jaguars have led most of the first half since the opening minute. They'll issue the full court press. South will take their time. They get it to Castonguay. They'll clear it out as he comes in left-handed into the front court. Final 10 seconds. Being shaded by St. Hilaire. Into the corner, Mitchell trying to tiptoe the baseline. Leaves his feet, kicks it back to Murphy. 1 second, desperation heave, won't go. Bank attempt too strong, and that'll do it. A good first half for the home team on senior night, the Windham Jaguars, with a 16-point halftime edge, 38-22. 2 players in double figures already for Windham. Senior Joey De Silva with 14, junior Chris Ballone with 14 as well. Rocky Harris, a strong second quarter, 8 points of his own. Cody Rochelet trying to keep South involved. He's got 9 points. Only player with multiple field goals for the Purple Panthers in that first half. All right, we'll step aside, come right back in just a moment. Some stats, some highlights, and some scores from around the state as well, as you are watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Halftime here in Windham. Start of the third quarter just around the corner. Nick Anastas with you It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance Windham. On senior night, impressive in that first half. They lead Nashua South 38-22. Led by Joey De Silva, no surprise, 14 points for the senior guard. And the state's leading scorer, but perhaps some unforeseen help off the bench for E.J. Perry. Chris Ballone, 14 points. The junior connecting on 4 3-pointers and really giving Windham a lift early in the second quarter. That's when the Jaguars made their move, opening up a lead as large as 17. And again, the gap 16 as we get set for the third quarter. Nashua South led by senior Cody Rochelet. He had 9 points, but Coach Mazarol hoping to see some better balance in that second half as Rochelet, the only player to score multiple field goals. Both teams pressured. Full court press really from both teams both ways, both of those first 2 quarters. And we expect to see the same moving forward. All right, some other scores from around the NHIAA. A busy night tonight, particularly in Division I. Portsmouth and Winnicott meeting in Portsmouth for the first time. First of 2 matchups this week. We'll be at the second one on Friday when the Clippers take on Winnicott in Hampton. That game comes your way, I believe, at 6:30 on Friday. Anyway, the Clippers off to a slow start. The Warriors with an 11-0 lead right now over Portsmouth about midway through the first quarter. Again, that matchup taking place at Portsmouth tonight. Trinity, they've got a lead over Bedford 17-10. That game about to get started in the second quarter. Again, Pioneers over the Bulldogs 17-10. We showed you earlier that Exeter held a 29-21 lead over BG at halftime. That game just about underway in the third quarter. Just got underway in the third. Exeter still holding an 8-point lead. Midway through the third quarter in Londonderry, the Lancers out in front of Salem. A tight one, 36-33. We saw the Lancers win in their season opener a couple of weeks ago. And Memorial, they've looked good early on as well. They've got a 30-21 lead over Concord at halftime. By the way, an update. They are through 1 in Portsmouth. Winnicott's lead has been trimmed down to 13-9, so a strong close to the quarter there for Portsmouth, but they're still down 13-9 through 1. So that's a look around the league. And now a quick look at the upcoming schedules for these 2 teams, Windham and Nashua South. The Jaguars will play the Purple Panthers in Nashua on Friday night. Part of this home and home theme that we've seen commonplace throughout the NHIAA schedules. Then they'll stay in Nashua, so to speak, and take on BG at BG for the first of 2 to kick off the month of February. There you see South as well. After the rematch with Windham, they'll take on Merrimack for a home and home. So schedule a little different this year. As we know, a lot of home and a lot of geographical rivals playing sometimes as many as 3 or 4 times. So a different flavor to the 21 campaign despite the late start. Meanwhile, Harris trying to get it to go in the second half's first possession with the left hand, but couldn't quite get it over the side iron. And the rebound goes to South. They trail it by 14. They fell behind by as many as 17 in that first half. 3-pointer. No good out of the corner by Rochelet. The rebound to Windham. Jaguars have won the battle of the backboards, at least so far. De Silva, 3-pointer. No good from straight away. Medling the rebound. Long outlet taken by Mitchell. Bounce pass off the back foot of De Silva. Off the right sneaker and up into the air out of bounds. South going to lob it towards the corner, let Medling chase it down. Whips it back out top. And this pass tipped. Good idea by Holfischer. First minute in the books, scoreless here, third quarter. Holfisher from midcourt. Inside, Medling. Trying to go over the top of the defense, can't get it to work. Good defense by Jack Rundy. I called him Rundle in the first half. I apologize, the 6'2 sophomore. His last name pronounced Rundy, and he made a good play on D there. Meanwhile, here's Mitchell trying to bank it, can't get it to go. Fading again, challenged by Rundy. The long defender may have altered the shot. Meanwhile, Windham trying to score their first points of the second half. Harris at the rim, too easy. Harris, the third Jaguar now in double figures with 10. And the lead 18 for the first time tonight. Rochelet on the baseline, up and under, can't get it to go. It rolls off the iron. Lippold bobbled it. Able to keep it alive, though, for Windham. De Silva into the front court, trying to dribble through traffic. Rundy ends up with it on the block. And now hands to Dempsey, who fires a three. This one in and out. Ball tipped into the corner. Rochelet and Lippold on the floor. And then it's De Silva who ends up with the loose ball at midcourt. Good hustle both ways. Crowd showing the appreciation. Meanwhile, wild shot by De Silva up and in. They'll wave it off. Foul on the floor first against Nashua South. And with that, the first substitution of the second half. George Fortin back onto the floor. One of the many sophomores in the rotation for Coach Perry. Backdoor off the hands of Fortin. He got excited about a possible layup chance there and took a pretty good pass from Harris off his hands out of bounds. Still an 18-point lead for Windham. South has not scored in this third quarter, nearly now 3 minutes in. Holfisher being hounded by Dempsey, and they're going to get Dempsey, the sophomore, on a reach in here. And with that, a substitution coming from the Jaguar sideline as Dempsey checks out after picking up his first. Replaced by the red-hot Chris Ballone. Is he still hot? Hit 4 threes in that first half. Meanwhile, Medling getting physical, tangled up there with Harris after the whistle blows. Foul is actually going to go against Rundy. As you see Medling starting to show some aggression. That's some of the fight I think Coach Mazarol is hoping to see here from his guys in the second half. Rochelet to the rim, no. Follow, yes. Codier will stay with it. Done that a couple times tonight. Second chance try. Up and good. His first field goal, his team's first field goal in the second half. Drive and kick. Harris open baseline two, up and in. No problem there. He's got 12 now. Quick three the other way, no. And then an over the back foul coming against South's Jeremiah Mitchell. Good box out by Lippold to force the whistle. De Silva, after a quick break, is right back on the floor here for Windham. And will replace Ballone, who wants to have a word. Coach Perry wants a word with him. Ballone didn't last long there. Fortin's bounce pass on the line, out of bounds. It's Coach Mazarol's pressure, yielding a turnover. South still with a lot of work to do, though. Down 18, nearing the midway point already in this third quarter. The Windham man-to-man defense has been ferocious tonight. No zone looks either way for these two teams. Meanwhile, Mitchell trying to go around Rundy, will, and score it with the right hand. Pretty move by the guard. South hoping he can perhaps get going and provide a second score. Meanwhile, Harris, drive and dump, rejected. Another good feed for Fortin, but a better block. I believe that was Murphy who got his right hand on it. Meanwhile, quick three straight away. Harris, no good, side iron, loose ball, and then what do we got here? They just said out of bounds, no foul. Handed back to South. That gives Windham a chance, though, to set up the press. Mitchell trying to break it with the dribble. Up ahead to Rochelet, looking for contact, and he'll get it. Almost got it to go with the right hand, hit on the elbow. 2 more coming for Rochelet, who was busy at the line in that first half for South. Midway through, third quarter. 16 the gap, which was the gap at halftime. Rochelet has been excellent, 11 points, the only player in double figures for South. Can't get it to go there, though. Now just 1 for 3 at the line tonight. The right-hander trying to go 1 for 2 on this trip, can't do that. Rebound Jaguars. Free throw shooting. Sure going to be on the practice agenda next time out for Coach Mazzarol. His club has struggled from the line. Meanwhile, the 3 no good by Barone. Rebound Murphy into the corner. Mitchell, 1 dribble. The leaning 2 won't go. Offensive rebound Murphy under the rim. And then he lost it at his pocket pick by St. Hilaire, who just checked in for Windham. Well, just not South's night, at least on offense. Only 4 points here in the quarter. It's been frustrating. St. Hilaire, a 3 out of the corner. Too strong. Rudling a skying rebound. Outlet for Rochelet, and on the spin move, a foul called against the Jaguars. Already 5 team fouls in this third quarter against Windham, so just 1 left to give for the rest of regulation. They hold a 16-point lead. Medling trying to power his way to the rim. He draws a foul. Well, South starting to really put some pressure on this Windham D. On the inside, they've been aggressive. They've been trying to attack. They've been trying to get some kind of a consistent shot selection near the iron for this young man, the 6'3" Rhett Medling. Held to just 2 points in that first half. He saw constant double teams. Gets the free throw here to bring his club back within 15 at 42-27. 1 more for the junior. A good 2 for 2 trip there. All right, Mazzarol's going to go small again as the coach takes the 6'3" center Medling off the floor and replaces him with another guard, the hard-nosed Mike Rutstein. Also, Castonguay joins him in the backcourt. So some subs on the floor for the Purple Panthers. Meanwhile, Barone, a 3. No. Skying offensive rebound, Lippold. Back to Barone. 2 big steps into the lane, and he's raked across the arm and fouled in the paint. Castonguay tried to make a play on the ball, but got more forearm than leather. And Barone back to the line. There's the glass by Lippold. It's been a big theme tonight for the Jaguars. They have produced a number of second chance tries. They've capitalized by and large at the line. Barone's first point of the second half. He's got now a game-high 15. The lead back to 15 for Windham as well. Free throw short. Lippold tips it back out. Barone tracks it down. Another try. Barone up top. Traveled. Shuffled the pink sneakers on the catch. No, both teams' pressure has forced some turnovers tonight. Barone, who really fell in love with that 3 ball in the first half, had his eyes on another there, but the shuffle leads to a rare second half turnover for the Jaguars. Inside of 3 minutes, third quarter. South trying to slice into this 15-point Windham lead. They've got Roig on the floor for the first time in this half. Rutstein, backdoor. Rochelet trying to go around, but he stepped on the baseline. A good curling move to get around Barone, but his right toe, or the toes of his right sneaker, on the baseline. Windham throws it ahead to Silva to Lippold and kicked out of bounds by Rochelet. Probably should have taken that shot himself. His father said so anyway from the stands. Shoot the ball, Wes. Wes, one of 4 seniors, honored tonight before the game. A group really that holds a place in Coach Perry's heart. You can just tell by the pregame ceremony speech from Coach Perry. He takes a time out here, by the way, that he's really involved with his group, has been involved with his group for a while. De Silva, of course, left Windham High, came back last year as a junior, made All-State second team. At nearly 17 points per game, has gotten off to a terrific start this year. And then again, Rocky Harris, been on the team since a freshman. Since he was a freshman, a starter since his sophomore year, who Coach lovingly calls the best all-around athlete in the state. And then Wes Lippold, who has played the lion's share of the minutes the last 2 years, really, on the floor again for Coach Perry tonight and doing a good job. Meanwhile, three-pointer out of the timeout off target. But guess what? Another Windham offensive rebound. It's going to lead to another chance here. They go inside. Rundy trying to go across the lane. Finds Lippold for the left-hand layup. A pretty interior pass. Hard to believe it. That's the first two for Weston Lippold, although he hasn't looked to shoot too often tonight. Hanging shot. Wild there by Holfisher and no good off the glass. Rebound Jaguars. 2 minutes, third quarter. Rundy up top. The sophomore probing. Finds a man in the corner. It's St. Hilaire who drills a three. Jack St. Hilaire bringing more bench scoring for Coach Perry. 5 off the pine. And it's starting to get away from South here. They're down 20 for the first time tonight with 90 seconds to go now, third quarter. 48-28. Three-pointer, Hoig. Roy shot too strong. Lippold, the rebound, wants to power out. Now hits the brakes, finds the trailer. St. Hilaire hits another three-pointer. Timeout South. Windham starting to blow this one open. Their largest lead of the night at 51-28. With a minute 19 now to go, third quarter. Well, it's been the bench play, the youngsters, so to speak, for the Jaguars who have made a big impact in this one. Jack St. Hilaire, now with 8 points. Saw a deep three there from the wing, looks over at his teammates. And now South really between a rock and a hard place here with a minute 19 to go in the third. Nate Mazzaro's club now down 51-28. Windham on the verge are looking for their third win in 3 tries to kick off the 2021 campaign. Again, these two teams meet Friday in a rematch at Nashua South. So I guess one of the positives of this home and away kind of 1-1 schedule is that you've got a quick chance to turn it around if you do lose that first game. Get a chance at revenge just 3 days later, perhaps in this case, if indeed this score holds up and South is unable to come back. But they're down 23 coming out of the timeout, and Coach Perry is not going to show any mercy here. He's going to throw a trap on out of the break. Long pass will lead to a Roig layup attempt that goes a little short, and then Rutstein dribbles off somebody's foot. Apparently a Jaguars, and it'll stay at this end. Full court press tonight. It's been ferocious, although South has held up for the most part against it. Because despite what was a 4-man trap there a moment ago, they've been able to get it into the front court. Castigway. Rochelet up to Rutstein. And again, Windham just going to ball hawk here. It looks like they're in a matchup zone for, I think, the first time. Like kind of a loose 1-2-2, but a foul is called here. Now inside of a minute, third quarter. 7th team foul against Windham. The aggressiveness has come with a price. 7 team fouls against Windham means a 1-1 here for Nashua South Cyrus Roig. 3 points off the bench in that first half for Nashua South. Meanwhile, Rochelet, a rare break for the senior. He's going to slip the mask off and take a well-deserved drink of water. Meanwhile, Roig, a 1-1, short. Rebound by Malone off the rim. Roig now 1 for 3. South is a team below 50% tonight at the line. Rutstein, a pretty steal. Strip Malone from behind. Up ahead, Castaway finds the trailer, and Roig able to finish off the glass. 5 for Roig. Meanwhile, St. Hilaire. Little J won't go, and then a jump ball on the rebound attempt. As Lippold, Castaway, and the newly checked in Daniel Miranda all hit the floor. Possession arrow favors Windham, and it'll stay at this end. And you see the transition bucket a moment ago by South, doing a good job breaking the press. Going to have to do it again here. Long pass, Roig takes it. He's got Dempsey on his hip. Going to fire one over Dempsey. Wild, no good off the glass. Rebound Harris for Windham. Final 20 seconds. Harris has his pass tipped by Miranda out of bounds. It'll stay with Windham. And most likely, the Jaguars will look for the final shot here of the third quarter with 18 seconds to go. They've got a 51-30 lead. They've led since the game's opening minute. Inside, Lippold stripped on his way up, and then a foul is called. The defender, Castaway, is going to get the personal. And the youngster also looked like got poked in the eye. Took a shot to the face anyway. Officials call this on the floor. Fourth team foul against South. Baseline out of bounds for Windham. De Silva on the give and go. Looking to free himself up. Fade away. No good. Rutstein the rebound. South got to hurry. Final 8 seconds. Castaway into the front court. Down to 5 seconds. Left hand dribble. Pulls up. Long two. No good. Back iron. Loose ball tracked down by Windham. And that'll do it for quarter number 3. The Jaguars flexing their muscles, stretching their halftime lead from 16 to 21 as it's now 51-30 through 3 quarters of play here in Windham. Will the Jaguars cruise to a senior night win? Or does South have some comeback plans in their back pocket? We find out next. You're watching Friday Night Lights New Hampshire's Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it usually is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. So call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Windham. Nick Anastas with you. It's FNL Courtside, our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. By the way, things tightening up in Exeter BG. They've played from behind tonight most of the night. Blue Hawks just a second away from perhaps handing the Cardinals the loss, 56-51 with just 1 second remaining in that Exeter BG game. By the way, a full scoreboard for you after the game as a travel is called here against Tyler Armeen. All the scores from across the state coming up immediately following the game tonight here on FNL Courtside. 51-30. Both teams have pressed. Windham has led most of the night from the game's first minute on after South scored the game's first point. Three-pointer, no good. Miranda wants to run. Castaway, a runner on the baseline. That won't work. Lippold the rebound in the crowd for Windham. De Silva up the floor for Dempsey. Backdoor for Harris. Trying to power out of a crowd. He's fouled on his way up. Well, it's been a routine night for the senior co-captain Rocky Harris. 12 points, 8 coming in the first half. Was honored as one of 4 seniors before tonight's game, the senior night festivities. Team wanted to send their thoughts out to Ray and Uden, the 4th senior not here tonight. Had to tend to a family matter out of state. But he's been a big part of this program for sure. And Harris, along with De Silva and Lippold, making up the seniors honored tonight. Harris is going to miss that free throw. 0 for 2 trip. And now South trying to operate here against this smothering man-to-man defense. Meanwhile, a foul called away from the ball. Miranda and De Silva tangled up. They're going to get Miranda, I think, with a moving screen on the baseline. Coach Mazarol not happy. They're going to get Armin with his second. And now Armin called for the reach. So that is going to put Windham at the line. As back-to-back fouls means now 7 team fouls in the team over the foul limit. So De Silva was not scored since halftime. Quick fire on the 1-on-1 won't go. Lippold's been a force on the O glass. Tried to keep it in bounds, but throws it to the other team. Meanwhile, De Silva, a steal in the backcourt, a quick three up and in. 17 now for De Silva, and he's the game's new high scorer. Jaguars come up with another steal. Harris drops it off for De Silva, looking for a three. Can't get it on the rise and fire. Rebound tip to Roig of South. Up-tempo basketball tonight both ways. Meanwhile, this pass fired out of bounds. The big man Miles McClintry, who just checked in for the first time tonight. Not expecting that bullet pass. It goes out of bounds. Back-to-back turnovers now by South. Minute and a half gone, fourth quarter. Largest lead on the board for Windham at 54-20. Sorry, 54-30. Harris spin. Changed his mind. Finds Lippold, who's short from a deep two in the corner. Offensive rebound, though, for Dempsey. Whip back out to Balone, who travels after giving the shoulder fake. Hasn't quite mastered the footwork yet on that shot fake, but when it comes, it'll really benefit this young man who put on a show in the first half at 14 points on 4 made three-pointers off the bench for Coach Perry. 2 minutes in, fourth quarter. Lippold has Dempsey in the corner. That three, too strong. Roig, another rebound for South. He's done a good job off the bench on the glass. Meanwhile, Castaguay calls his own number, fires a three in transition, won't get it to go. Another rebound for Lippold and Windham. Into the front court, De Silva, the trailer, deep three, up and in. Bang, bang. You don't want the senior to get too hot if you're Nashua South. Somehow, some ways, up to 20 points tonight. The lead is 27. Castaguay around the pick. Can't get the runner, and then it's slapped away. Out of bounds, last touch, they say, by South's McClintry. Well, some good looks that just haven't gone tonight for Nashua South. They have not had as many shot attempts as Windham either, due to the Jaguars' ability on the offensive glass. Meanwhile, Balone, unchallenged, tried to get the finger roll to go on the baseline. Misplayed it, the rebound to McClintry. A rare stop for South, looking for their first points of the fourth quarter. Won't get it there on a scooper. McClintry's second try, turns and scores with the right-hand hook. That's got Coach Mazarol excited, clapping his hands at midcourt. His team back within 25. Meanwhile, De Silva lost it on the way up, stolen by Miranda, sends it ahead deep. Castaguay at the other end, it lays it in off the glass. First bucket for Zach Castaguay. He's played a lot tonight off the bench. Done a good job handling the rock. Gets a layup there. 57-34. Meanwhile, a good steal by Miranda. Not Miranda, rather, but Armin. And then a timeout is called from the sidelines. Heads up decision there by Coach Mazarol to preserve the possession. But South not quitting. You like that. Still some enthusiasm on their sideline despite the big gap. They're not going to quit. Going to make Windham work for the final 4:37 here in the fourth quarter. It's been all Jags tonight, though. De Silva and Barone leading the charge in that first half as we get a look at a rare transition bucket for South. The Purple Panthers' Cody Rocheleau tried to keep them in the game. Rochelet with 9 of his 11 in that first half. But Windham a strong second quarter, opened up a double-digit lead, a 16-point gap at halftime, stretching that to as many as 23 late in the third quarter. Up at 1 point to 27 here in the fourth, and back down to 23 here at the midway point, fourth quarter, 57-34. As Windham looking to improve to 3-0. And really widely starting to be recognized as one of the shortlist contenders in Division I. Here's a steal. McClinchy coughed it up in the double team. Barone fouled on his way to the rim. Will shoot two. Fouled from behind by Miranda. Jaguars have forced a lot of turnovers, particularly in the second half. Both teams have really looked to attack tonight on the offensive side. You like to see that if you're either head coach. Meanwhile, Barone, his second make from the line. 16 points for the 6'3" junior. Second one, no good. His first miss. Rebound South. Roig from Miranda picks up the dribble. And South got to pull it back out here. Windham's got a new player in the game, Jack Kenzulak, 5'11" junior, seeing action for the first time. Roig inside out. Armin has a man on the weak side. Miranda changes his mind, goes downstairs to McClinchy, who airballs the baseline too. Windham again holding the Purple Panthers to just one shot per trip. That's been the MO tonight. Final 3.5. Windham in no rush. South sticking with that man-to-man. Roig trying to smother Kenzulak. Somebody out of bounds there. It was Roig, the defender. It'll stay with Windham. 3:20 to go, and Lippold gets a round of applause. His family sitting just in front of me here, saluting a job well done for the senior who was honored before the game here on senior night. May not necessarily score the ball, but he rebounds. Excellent for a guard, for sure. Here's a three by Malone. Make it 18 now for the junior. In trouble, Miranda coughed it up. Kenzulak on the run to his right. Layup for St. Hilaire. St. Hilaire, the fourth Jaguar in double figures. He's got 10. 63-34, largest lead for the Jags. Inside of 3 minutes. Inside, it's McClinchy. Rejected, out of bounds, and then touched by McClinchy again before going out of bounds. It's handed back to Windham. Good block by Charlie Davis, the 6'4" junior. Also seeing action for the first time is Windham pulling their starters here at this point. Brian Damaris, sophomore guard, onto the floor as well. Rundy, who did get the start tonight, is a sophomore, still on the floor, but it's a younger unit right now for sure. McClinchy, the block and steal. Up ahead to Roig, who's then fouled at the rim by St. Hilaire. Got a piece of the ball and is upset with the call. Now the South bench still engaged. Still cheering on their guys for this final 2:18. It's now 18 fouls apiece, by the way. But a shooting foul here for Roig, who has given Coach Mazzarola a bump off the bench. He scored the ball a little bit, although he misses here. 5 points. He's 1 for 3 at the stripe, but he's rebounded and played some good defense tonight. Got a high arcing shot. It won't work for him there. Rebound to Windham. South still going to apply some pressure in the backcourt. Damaris brings it into the front court. Kenzulak tiptoes the baseline, leaves it upstairs for Hilaire. Deep three. No. Offensive rebound snatched by Rundy. Goes up with the right-hand hook. That won't go. Around the rim. Rebound Miranda for South. Final 2 minutes, fourth quarter. Still a 29-point Jaguar lead. Into the corner. Miranda, open look. Three-pointer, though, too strong. Weak side rebound to Kenzulak. He's going to dribble away from a crowd into the front court. Switch to the left hand, go down the lane, and draw a foul. Drew the bump from the defense. 9th team foul against the South Purple Panthers. Means free throws here with 1:41 to go. Coming up after the game, a look around the state. Was Exeter able to hang on against BG and make it official? We'll find that out. Portsmouth and Winnicott. Two teams we'll see again on Friday. They meet tonight in Portsmouth. Early lead there for the Warriors. Bedford and Trinity. Two teams very familiar with one another, two schools. So all those scores coming your way, plus some final stats here as well, as Windham rolling to a victory tonight, up 31, their largest lead. They've led basically throughout. Meanwhile, George Fortin, the sophomore guard, stepped out of bounds, his right foot on the line. Hand it back to South. Some turnovers tonight for Coach Perry's group. I'm sure that didn't escape Coach's attention, but for the most part, very efficient on offense. Castigway's finger roll won't go on the baseline. Kenzalik trying to go right to left, trying to go coast to coast. They have lost it on the way up. Good hands by Armin. They say the defender touched it last. The offensive glass tonight for Windham, in my opinion, the difference maker. As the Jags have just had more opportunities on the offensive side, no question. Good pass from Rundy. Up and under. Layup attempt, though, wouldn't go for Kenzalik. Meanwhile, Roy trying to draw a foul. That won't work. McClintry throws it off the defender. And he'll keep it here at South's end. Damaris trying to come up with it. And now Coach Mazarol wants a full timeout here. Possibly empty the bench. 52 seconds to go. 65-34 Windham. As the Jags looking to go 3-0. Again, these two teams will meet in the Gate City Friday night in a rematch. Windham then will get another big test against Bishop Girton. Like the Jaguars, the Cardinals, very senior-laden, senior-heavy. They've got size. And good guard play. That should be a good matchup coming up on February 2nd. And then South, after the rematch with Windham, has Merrimack to look forward to. Merrimack, kind of a strange year for them. New head coach. Of course, Coach Goodrich is out after being there for nearly 2 decades. Austin Denton has taken over, a member of his staff and a former Merrimack player, a good player. But no seniors, from what I understand, on the Merrimack varsity squad this year. So it'll be interesting to see how South matches up with them next week. Excuse me. Final 50 seconds. McClintry tied up in the lane. And we got a foul here against Windham. It's on Kenzalik, who wants an explanation from the official. McClintry to the line, looking for his 3rd point. Won't get it. Rebound to Fortin. Scurries into the front court. Now Windham will set things up with 35 seconds. Dempsey drops it down to Fortin. They're going to call it off, a 3-second violation. Final half minute. Castigway gets that one to go pretty. His 2nd field goal. 4 points. That'll bring South within 30, and that most likely is going to end up being the final difference. 65-36, 10 seconds to go. Windham in no hurry. As Coach Perry says, no shot here. That'll do it. A round of applause for the Windham Jaguars on senior night. They're 3-0 after a 65-36 victory over Nashua South. They led by 5 after 1, by 16 at halftime. balloon that gap to 21 through 3, and then end up winning by 29, 65-36. As Coach Perry knows he has a legit Division I contenders on this roster, and they are going to be tough for anybody this season. South, well, they've got a game under their belt. Their first 3 were postponed. It's got to count for something. They look to iron out some of the kinks Friday night in a rematch on their home floor with this Windham squad. All right, let's try to get some out-of-town scores for you in just a moment. We'll put a wrap on this one, though. 4 different double-figure scores tonight for Windham, led by Joey De Silva. Senior guard had 20. Chris Ballone, 14 of his 18 came in the first half. The junior on fire from three-point land early. And Rocky Harris, a workman-like 12 points to go with 8 or so boards. And let's not forget St. Hilaire as well, as Jack, the sophomore, had 10 points off the bench for Windham. Cody Rochelet, 11 points, the only South player in double figures. Rhett Medling played hard in the middle, but finished with just 2 points. But a good game, solid, all-around game, in my opinion, was Cyrus Roy, who ended up with 5 points and perhaps twice the amount of rebounds. All right, again, some close action across the state tonight. A lot of games to report. Doesn't get any closer than what's going on between Bedford and Trinity. A 2-point lead for the Pioneers, 44-42. That game midway through the fourth. Earlier tonight, Exeter able to hold off BG. Blue Hawks win it 56-51, the final. Salem, they lose tonight against Londonderry 63-54 as the Lancers pile up another win. Halftime between Memorial and Concord. Crusaders led it by 9 at the break, 30-21 over the Crimson Tide. And then in a preview of what we will bring your way Friday night, Winnicott is at Portsmouth tonight, and the Warriors, to begin the fourth quarter, hold an 8-point lead of 44-36. Again, we'll be on the air Friday night. I believe it's 6:30, although it may be 6 o'clock. Double check that. Portsmouth at Winnicott coming up. That's a 6:30 tip Eastern time. We'll be on the air at about 6:15 or so. All right, I want to thank Mike McCaffrey and his staff here in Windham, rolling out the red carpet, even during a pandemic. We're up and broadcasting here live. We appreciate Coach McCaffrey, Coach Perry, and the entire Windham Athletics staff. I want to thank our producer back in the Beals Insurance Studios, Ben Beals, for doing a great job. Steve Beals of Beals Insurance for being the executive producer, kicking his feet up down in Florida. And, of course, our videographer, John Barron, for providing all the 1080 HD shots for you in live action. My name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time. Windham, a big winner tonight, 65-36. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.